Welcome to our channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 most horrifying movies of all time. These films have left audiences terrified for decades and are sure to give you nightmares for weeks to come. So grab a pillow to hide behind and let's dive in. Number 5 on our list is The Exorcist. This classic horror movie tells the story of a young girl named Regan who becomes possessed by a demon. The movie is infamous for its disturbing scenes of violence and blasphemy and for the way it explores themes of faith and religion. The Exorcist remains one of the most iconic and influential horror movies of all time and is sure to leave you feeling unsettled and disturbed. Coming in at number 4 is Psycho. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock, this movie tells the story of a young woman named Marion Crane who steals money from her employer and ends up at the Bates Motel, where she meets the disturbed and mysterious Norman Bates. Psycho is a masterpiece of suspense and horror and features one of the most iconic scenes in cinema history, the infamous shower scene. Number 3 on our list is The Shining. Based on the novel by Stephen King, this movie tells the story of a family who moves to an isolated hotel for the winter, only to discover that the hotel has a dark and terrifying history. Directed by Stanley Kubrick and starring Jack Nicholson, The Shining is a masterpiece of psychological horror that will leave you feeling uneasy and disturbed long after the credits roll. At number 2, we have Rosemary's Baby. Directed by Roman Polanski, this movie tells the story of a young woman named Rosemary who becomes pregnant with the child of Satan. The film is a masterclass in suspense and psychological horror and is sure to leave you feeling deeply disturbed and unsettled. Rosemary's Baby is a classic horror movie that is still terrifying audiences to this day. And finally, the most horrifying movie of all time, according to our list, anyway, is The Silence of the Lambs. Starring Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, this movie tells the story of a young FBI agent who is tasked with tracking down a serial killer known as Buffalo Bill. The film is a masterpiece of suspense and horror and features some of the most iconic and disturbing scenes in cinema history. The Silence of the Lambs is a movie that will leave you feeling shaken and disturbed long after you've finished watching it. So there you have it, the top 5 most horrifying movies of all time. These movies are not for the faint of heart and are sure to leave you feeling deeply unsettled and disturbed. But for fans of the horror genre, these movies represent some of the best and most terrifying examples of what cinema has to offer. So turn off the lights, grab some popcorn, and get ready to be scared out of your mind.